Chris Seitz. Chris, welcome again, my friend.
How you doing?
I couldn't be better. Better yet, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
You've got a busy life, and right now you and your squad have started red hot. Let's talk about it. Against the Philadelphia Union, you guys came out victorious. You had a game plan, and you guys came out on top. Talk about that game this past weekend.
Yeah, it was obviously really important for us. It's our first road test of the year, which obviously we want to set the tone for those road games pretty early. And for us, we really came into the game plan, and we knew we had to be patient. And obviously, once we got the red card, we had to take our chances in the game, and credit to the guys for definitely taking advantage of it.
Chris, let's talk about mentally speaking, getting ready for that game. Obviously, it was delayed, postponed for a day. How did you guys adjust to knowing that it was going to be postponed? Did you guys sit in the hotel, watch more and more video? Did you chill out? Because obviously things like this don't happen on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think I told someone the other day, but for the road team, it's almost easier for postponement than it is for the home team. The home team, everyone's at their own houses, kind of going off the schedule and waiting for a phone call. For us, we're all in one location. We have obviously all of our athletic trainers there. We have our coaching staff. We have everything. So for us, it's actually almost easier to prepare for than probably a home team. Obviously, with the stadium or with the hotel having all the accommodations for us with food and everything, we never really had to sweat any sort of postponement.
Chris, when you look in front of you, you got Harris, Lloyd, Hedges, and Hernandez. That is the best brick wall anywhere in MLS right now. They've played lights out good. Talk about your D-men in front of you.
Yeah, well, it's been good. We've had obviously 3 returners from last year, and then Akiva coming in, who's an MLS vet who knows what it takes to win, and he's accommodating and transitioning really well to right back. And for us, it's been great. The guys have been solid, and the communication continues to get better and better, and hopefully we can continue to build on it.
You know, let's talk about your squad this year. There's something different in years past where you guys have started red hot as well a couple years ago and you know, fizzled out, let's be honest, towards the end. This year there's a calmness about it. There's a confidence with your squad. I've watched the first couple games, and you could sense you guys are playing a more offensive-minded game. Am I off on that, or am I correct on the style of play you guys have started to play this year?
Yeah, you look at the guys that we have going forward, and it's a scary group of guys. And for us, we play a style that's pretty balanced, but we can kind of beat teams in a lot of different ways. Obviously, you saw the late 1-0 victory at home against San Jose, which was kind of a battle, and San Jose is always a battle. And then we do a little bit more possession style against Philly, and then obviously Sporting KC was a little bit different as well. So there's a lot of different factors in how we play, and as long as we're solid in the back, we get the guys to go forward and really attack with numbers.
Now, Chris, as a goalkeeper, when do you want to know that you're starting that game? Is it 48 hours before? Is it more than that? Is it less than that? What are you comfortable with?
It all depends. Obviously, you want to know at least the day before. Just obviously, you come into every game with the mentality that you're going to be playing, and you're always prepared to play. But it's always good knowing going into the last practice where guys stand.
Chris, it's obviously important that you guys get a lot of those cold climate cities out of the way with those visits early on, like Philadelphia and some others maybe early on, so that later on you're going to play in the climate that you're used to on home soil. How important is it that you guys get those tough road games out of the way with early?
Yeah, it's obviously the East Coast trips are a little bit farther for us. So for us, those big long road trips are always tough. And Philly was our first test with it, and for us, we look to each and every game to continue to work on what we've been talking about each week in practice and what our coaches have been preaching. And road games are always difficult, and for us, we look to continue the streak of hopefully putting together points on the road.
Obviously, Chris, you guys want to get to the MLS Cup final and win it all. But to you personally, individually, what do you want to do this year to really say that, yes, I've achieved my goal? Is it winning it all? Is it, personally speaking, starting 3/4 of the games or most of the games?
I think it's just successful, having a successful team. And guys that do well collectively as a group are more likely to be successful. And this group is a very unselfish group of guys who really work together. And that's kind of where we're at with our group. We're a group of guys that aren't necessarily the biggest names in the world, but we all work together and we continue to push each other to perform at a higher standard. And you can see us continuing to grow throughout this year so far.
Chris, the league has grown in leaps and bounds. An announcement today, Minnesota is going to be joining in 2018. Orlando in this season with Kaká. New York City FC with David Villa. I mean, it's got to be great for yourself as a goalkeeper, knowing that you're going to go up against world-class players week in and week out. And that's great also, not only for the American player, but for the Canadian player to have great talent like this.
Yeah, you can see how much the league is really moving forward, and it's a lot of fun to be part of. I've been in the league for 9 years now. This is my 9th year, and for me, you can see huge differences from my first couple of years to now. And look, it's not stopping. We're continuing to grow, and obviously with the new announcement today, and obviously LA and Atlanta coming in, and hopefully Miami as well. We really do see where this league is going, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Chris, lastly, before we let you go, we really appreciate your time. The Texas state, to me, is a gold mine for soccer talent. You know, obviously Houston Dynamo, yourself, FC Dallas, San Antonio Scorpions in there as well. I mean, to me, I think this is a great, well-kept secret all over North America, the amount of youth players that are coming out of the Texas area. Have you noticed it on your off time, maybe attending some of these youth games? Have you seen some of that?
Yeah, so our academy is one of the best by far, and we have a lot of our 18s training with us and 16s as well that come into training, and listen, they can hold their own in a lot of facets. So it's exciting to see, and for us, whenever they get called in and help us out, it's awesome to see these young guys coming in and realizing that they're not far from their dreams. And as a club, we've done really well with our academy, and you can tell by how many players we got on our team that have come from it.
Outstanding, Chris. As we close it out, give a tip out there to the youngsters, the kids that want to be Chris Seitz and live a dream like you're living and playing professional soccer. What would you like to say to those youngsters that want to apply the trade as a goalkeeper like you have?
Yeah, obviously it's one of those things where you just need to continue to work at all times. Whether it's watching a lot of video of goalkeepers with YouTube now, a bunch of different sort of keeper training sessions and all that stuff. But there's always ways you can learn. There's always different things that you can do, whether it's nutrition or mental strength or whatever it is. There's all different facets that you continue to work on, and the more you work on those things, the easier the game on the field becomes.
Chris, congratulations on the great start for you and your club early on. Good luck the rest of the way, and again, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here.
Yeah, thanks, guys.